I wanna be a billionaire, so freaking bad. Buy all of the.
Welcome, this is Billionaire Cycle, our third program. Still we are running with our topic, Opportunities in China to Africa. My name is Gemma Silvan. Do not forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel, RINGO TV. Last time we discussed about China economical situation 40 years back. Also, business models in China. Today we will see about our last previous question that, which states that which principles does the government of China use to ensure that the funds for development reach the specific people? Watch out.
Yes, make sure the money don't go somewhere else. For the years, and the China developed, and the government they have a very good managed system. Although it's talking about a lot of the bribery and also the government money they win somewhere, but at least usually and the government also especially state company they invest in the other countries. Usually and the management who they manage money is the professional people, and another team of the finance people. They are not belong to this company, they belong to the headquarters. They are supervising your money running, but the money, of course, if they for any money spending, and like the CEO and general manager, they have to sign, right? But the money, the approval firstly is go from the financial departments, and then go to the CEO.
But we can learn from most of the African countries. Yes, they have some government officials to represent some of the corporate companies that they've invested in, but it's still the people who have been entrusted by the government. They corrupt the money, they misuse the fund, and
yes,
usually these companies end up collapsing. We want to know the secret behind it. How do you control that?
The secret is like the I think for the business, and we got a very heavy lesson from this one. Is like for the business, if anything regarding the money, there's nothing you can see about the trust. Trust is useless. In the business, you shouldn't use the trust, especially regarding the money. Nobody can be trusted. You must have the system to manage, supervising, checking, and then usually and for all
Maybe can you go deeper regarding the system? Because most of the people here, they are startup and some of them want to establish their business. When you say system, what do you mean?
Okay, so system is very simple. It's very simple. It's like the first thing and the first principle, and your cargo and your money have to be separate. You cannot. Usually, for the business and like the people, especially you want to sell something, right? The people, there's your salespeople. If it's not that heavy, and if even the heavy, and you have some cargo to transport, right? So usually is the practice that is the salespeople carry the cargo to the buyer, and he collecting the cash back. But the problem is usually that happen there, because nobody can be trusted like he's sleeping with the cash every day, and you think he want to take the cash beside him, right? This won't happen. So the cargo delivery and the cash collecting should be separate. This is basic. Usually what we do is like this, and how can we separate? This is another question. So it's cargo, and when they go out, and they before or even before the cargo go out, and so they like the people to write the check for you, or transfer to you by the M-Pesa, Tigo money, or by the bank. Don't give the chance for your salespeople to touch the money. That's a good for the company, and also that's a good even for the salespeople.
What is your advice for the cash transaction business? There are those businesses which you don't pay on cash. You pay. I mean, you pay cash there and then you collect your goods. Off you go. How can you control that?
This is not difficult. It's like if they're too far or something, the cargo is value is too big. It's like what we do now. What we do now is we ask the people to pay us cash first. And also, if I think there another things you want to mention is because there's something we're doing by the installment.
What drives China's success? One major explanation about this is through introduction of market mechanism, modern technology, and management from West. Since Deng Xiaoping implemented the open and reform policy, China has experienced the rapid productivity. So it means that learning from West has led to China economic growth. Nobody would believe that China has grew its economy to gross domestic product of 10% per year. Also, China has become the world's second economy, and it is expected to surpass America 2025.
Okay, and for the things is like this one also for the industrialization, and also there's several for China of course is successful the story, right? But for the other country, it's like the Latin America is not that successful because they want to be the industrial, and what's happened right now in the Latin American country, they do have the policy. They open the gates very wide and to ask everybody to come inside. So what happened in the Latin American, and also you go to the Brazil, you go to the Mexico, you go there. The whole industry is not controlled by the local people. They're controlled by by the people from Europe and the United States. If they want to go, they go immediately, right? And after so many finance or something, this does happen in you see the currency of the Brazil. They can drop the one year by 30%, 40%. You see the currency in Mexico, the peso. The president Trump come out, the currency dropping the 20%, 30%. Because why? Because the industry actually is not in their hand. They have the door open. Somebody else is coming inside, but the company inside their country is not growing up, right?
So finish your answer.
Yeah, let me finish this one. But the China, that means we're talking about another things, and the China, the policy is I think the China policy is relatively good. At least right now this proof is good. Because they have the policy, and you can come inside, and also they manage a little bit, and for the tariff, because for the country to control the industrialization, like the question is that if we want to develop our country, and or develop which industry, for example, like the car, or something, or like the sugar.
A leader is a person with the ability of ruling a group of people, country, or an organization. There are some qualities that makes a great leader, such as focus, passion, inspiration, communication, accountability, and many others. Let's hear Mr. Ringo explain a little about leadership.
We normally say leadership. A leader is a person who influences things to happen. And we believe that for any things to happen in a family level, in business level, in government, in whatever call you may mention, without a leader, there will be no changes. And without leader, there will be no any advancement at family level, at business level, whatever the call you may mention. But also without leadership, there will be no any success of any family organization whatsoever. So leadership, to me, I think is key, because leadership is all about influencing people to do what they are supposed to do, even if they don't want to do it. They just do it because you have influenced. And the influence is not necessary to be by pushing people, like most of the African governments. They want to influence by push, by harassment, but the good influence is to make people do whatever that you want. They do it by their willingness. Because even at family level, if there is no good leadership at family level, the family will always struggle. The same is true to the business. It is all about leadership. Because you as a leader in the business, you want to influence the people who are working for you to do what you want them to do, even if it is to produce the product or service and render to the market. It takes a leader to make it happen. If there is no leadership, even if you come up with a very fancy, high quality products, still you'll never reach the market, and you'll fail eventually. So leadership is key. And being a leader is not necessary to be having top position. Everyone is called to be a leader. You might be a junior person in the company, you might be a manager, you might be the director, whatever the position you have, you are the leader, because we want you to influence things to happen. You know, even to make the meeting happen. A meeting is just a small thing, but it takes a leader for a meeting to happen. To take a product to the marketplace, it takes a leader to influence the sales team to take the product to the marketplace. It takes a leader to make things happen. So you as business people, potential business people of the future, you need, and this is not an option, you need to learn a lot about leadership. And this is what has made most of the successful countries in the world. I was reading one book regarding the success of Singapore. Most of the African countries, they proud themselves by having a lot of natural resources like gold, silver, copper, and whatever. I can tell you, brothers and sisters, the world we are living today, we are not competing because of resources. If we could be competing in terms of resources, today we could be ranked among the top 3 countries in the world. But today people are competing on the know-how, the intelligence. Singapore is short of resources like gold, silver, and the rest of the natural resources, but they've centered themselves into human resources, human capital, because it takes a brain to convert a gold into money. We were living in Tanzania, for example, we were living with this gold for centuries, but where we are still the poorest, among the poorest countries. But on the ground, we have gold, we have silver, we have oil, we have water, we have land, we have almost everything. But here is the problem. So if you want to approach the future, focus on the brain, empower your brain. It will be easy for you to be successful. But if you focus on working hard, focusing on big natural resources, like you have a big land and you are proud of that, my brother and my sister, that's a wrong concept. We are living in the world of information. You have the right information, where to access capital, where to access the best human capital, where to access the best market, where to access good leadership. That's what it takes for someone to be successful, to be rich. Back to you. There is a question there.
Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to be sour in the discussion. I have a rather a question or a discussion on the issue that when you want somebody to excel in something, don't give them a final product. Like if you want somebody to have fish, don't give them fish. You give them the
Teach him in the
yeah.
fishing way.
Yeah, you give them a way to catch the fish themselves, then they can catch the fish as much as they want. Now, when it comes to our country, when we became independent, we didn't start producing, but we started a little bit with communism, with father of the nation, and the country was a little bit forced to produce things for ourselves. Now, in Tanzania currently, we are importers rather than exporters. Now, if we want for our country to be an industrial nation with so much things being imported, I bring the question back to you. Would you advise my government as a Chinese man that my country should stop importing things so we can start producing our own?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And firstly, give me 1 minute to continue with the Godfrey talk. And firstly, I give all my best wish to everybody sitting here, like Mr. Godfrey already taught. I hope in the future, and that you can be the great leader. That's leading yourself from small things and until you can lead the very big things. Yes. And also, that's a questions. That's a very good questions for you. You are talking about the country levels policy, how to become the industrialization countries. So this is a very big topic, and in fact, you see, and also the things. There's only several countries become real successful in the industrialization. The first one, anybody can think which one is the first industrialized country? Europe. Which one?
Great Britain.
Great. That's great. Great Britain is the first industrialization country, and then come to there's some Europe country and also the American, right? And then come to then industrialization, they shift to the Eastern Asia. Then come to the Japan, Korea, and also I think the Thailand a little bit. And then after that, that's the first time shift of the industrialization. And then second one, and shift to the China. China become, and Mr. Godfrey already said that since 2014, China become the first importation and exportation country, international business country, number one. All the importation and exportation put in together. And also, now China is the biggest industrialization country in the world. American is GDP is bigger than China, but actually their GDP is not of the GDP from service in the finance sector. You know that right? In fact, in United States right now, not so many industry, even their factory for the for the car vehicle is already shifting to the China, Mexico, and also maybe even the Latin American countries. Okay.
Foreign investors in China. Does the government of China give a chance to investors to import experts outside the country, or they normally use the local people? Because we all know that by importing experts, they will gain new skills, new technology. Also, we are going to see why it is so difficult to get a passport from China. It may take even 1 year or more, and there are some critical conditions, such as one must be an expert or a big investor. Let's see.
Yeah, but the things, yeah, the if there's one very interesting things, and for the like if you ask the people which country's passport is very difficult to get, that's the answer is China. Because especially foreigner, you want to get the China passport is very difficult. I think the 1 year is no more than just several years in such a big country for the foreigner, and even your investment there, and there's a very critical condition you must be made. And firstly, and you must be the expert, right? Or second, and you must have a big investment there, or something, and also all
minimum how much capital investment?
I'm not sure, but you see how difficult, because the 1 year the only grant is several passports, like this several hundred passports. You know how many foreigners in China. That's many important. How many passports the American give to the immigrants? The 1 year they give I think the 400, 500 the passport to the immigrants. But China is the only case, no more than 1,000. And they're very big countries. But it's very important. I think for me, I'm a foreigner here, and I think firstly, and so they come. This is like the China, they grown up and they open their. Even you don't have the passport, but the China you get the visa is easier. It's very easy, and also usually, and also we have many Africa brothers also in China, you know, in the Africa. What is this? Chinese people say the African capital in China is Guangzhou. You see a lot of the African people in the Guangzhou.
Actually, what he's saying is true. I've been to China several times. To get the visa to fly in China is very easy, because they know if you fly in China, you go with the money, you spend it there, buy their products and services, and the money remains in the country. But to get the passport in their country is difficult.
Very difficult.
Next time on Billionaires Cycle, I have something new and big for you. Do not miss it. Thank you very much for watching Billionaires Cycle. Continue to watch other programs on RINGO TV. My name is Gemma Silvan. Do not forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel, RINGO TV. We always say that. RINGO TV, grow rich.
Buy all of the things I never had. I wanna be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen. Oh, every time I close my eyes,